Every soul you encounter on your journey, your soul has prepared you to that point to receive that encounter. Okay, and I'm talking across lifetimes. I always say that all connections are spiritual connections because if you allow them to, they can be your mirror. And there are often times when certain types of connections will actually have a cycle through those connections where you are playing out some kind of karmic wounding or something within your being that you need to recognize and close out. And that high level connection will show you what that is and how give you the opportunity to close out. Okay, in order, so it's kind of like you have to come apart because those versions of you that came together were the wounded versions, the versions that still needs to clear through that karma, right? In order to find alignment within yourself so you can finally come back together in alignment with each other. Okay, now obviously there's some connections that simply are karmic connections that you're not meant to be coming back into alignment with. They super powerful and meant to teach you all the shadows and what you don't want. Okay, so what's specifically coming through here isn't a karmic connection, it's a high level connection. So divine counterpart energy, where you've really had to learn a lot of lessons. Yeah, you've had that karmic element of your connection because of the karmic wounding within you. 10 of Cups. Karmic wounding within you. I think that there was an opportunity for what presented as it could have been an opportunity for this happy ever after, this wish coming true. But it was truly just showing you what could be. This is actually something that you could have, but how prepared are you for it? How ready are you for it? Who are you allowing that to be, that comes across for you to do that with, okay? 4 of Pentacles. I've just literally heard someone stuck in a dream. Someone's stuck in a dream. 2 of Swords. A dream that they didn't take action towards when they could have, is what I've heard there, okay? Okay, so we've got the Page of Pentacles here, which tells me, yeah, that's what it tells me. So you've got the 6 of Cups and the Knight of Cups as well. So it tells me that someone wants to take that action now. And when I say action, okay, Ace of Wands, the bottom deck confirmation, they want to take that action. But I think that they want to plant this seed now, whereas before they weren't ready. I say ready. How ready you are is really determined by the choices you're making. Truly, they weren't making the right choices for them that were in alignment with this wish that they truly want. They're recognizing that and they want to move forwards. It's been really shaky for them. It's like they found the light and then it went dim. They found the light and then it went dim, and now they're kind of like, no, this is my light and I want to move towards it. So it's like they're feeling more of that drive. However, they're definitely missing this what could have been. Definitely been reflecting on that a lot and thinking about it. The Fool. Yeah, this is the cycle they want. It's quite clear. The only thing is, this Knight of Cups can sometimes lead with illusion. Like romantic gestures, but unfulfilled promises, right? A fantasy sometimes. So it's kind of like they have been fantasizing about this a lot. But, oh God, now we've got the Knight of Wands. I don't know. I mean, yeah, okay, the Knight of Wands can really come and sweep you off your feet, but there's so much impulse and spontaneity sometimes, and you have to question the drivers. Yeah, and I think because, again, the Ace of Wands at the bottom deck, exactly, you don't want it to be lust. You don't, we got the 2 of Cups though, so maybe it's like this reciprocated kind of passionate energy, right? But someone's been stuck on this for a while. They haven't done anything about it for a while. But it is kind of about being mindful, because you've got to, if you're moving towards something like this, then you've got to be intentional with it. Because, you know, some people, different things work for different people. But when it comes to, again, the Ace of Wands, I am shuffling. Different things work for different people, and specifically this day, divine counterpart connection that I'm picking up on, you have to move towards it with intention, with the understanding that this is alignment that you want to have moving forwards, like being proactive with that. 3 of Pentacles, that's both of you making the decision. Both of you making the decision to do this together. Yeah, it's going to require the right conversations. So you're both going to need to be prepared for those conversations, because that's when you're both going to be able to plant the seed, but water it together. Right, and that's just one-sided. Queen of Cups. I've just got emotional belonging. Emotional belonging, emotional understanding. Something about a storm could be important. Storm, rain clouds. Yeah, someone's coming. 6 of Swords. Or at least someone's moving. There's a transition happening. Balance is being restored. The Lovers. And that's come out with the 10 of Cups and the Fool. It's actually really raining outside. There's a cleansing taking place. That's what it feels like. That's the energy it's giving. Okay, cleansing of the system. Finally, for the heart to be listened to and acted on. Where it hasn't been acted on, there's been indecision, right? You've known that. You know, when someone experiences a certain kind of love, if you will, you know, just that love. Oh my God, the Ace of Wands. When I say that someone wants this passionate night, I'm not gonna hold back from what I'm hearing now. They want this passionate night. Once again, be mindful of what energy is driving you. Yeah, that sexual energy is your sacred energy. And someone knows this, by the way. I think this is part of the reason why this Strength card has come out with that. Knight of Wands, they know this. They're gathering the strength to hold it down so they're not, you know, running off impulse. They're not easily kind of suddenly led by that. Like, they're holding it down. When you've experienced some kind of emotion from somebody that you've not experienced before and you really feel held in that emotion, not even because, like, you know, just that emotional connection, safety, it's something that you won't experience again and again. And someone's realizing that. Yeah, the Judgment card. They're awakening to this. I'm also hearing that this is they're awakening to how much this is a person that they want to have a family with. Okay. Emotional support system. Someone has lacked that. Yeah, 8 of Swords here. I do think there's been some things unspoken, and not you don't fully know the full picture about what's been going on. 7 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Tower's just come out. There's been a reckoning, truly. Especially when it comes to the emotional aspect, you know, and really having to pick yourself up from that emotion, the wheel. Yeah, there's going to be a huge change here. It's going to be a shift, but it's going to require someone's strength of character. It's going to test their strength of character, and it's also going to allow this Queen of Cups energy to really see how much she has stepped into that unconditional love, right? But from a place where she is not overgiving and people pleasing, right? Where she's really in her alignment, in her power. It's going to be a huge milestone. Just had the Emperor come out as well, and I feel like it's actually someone who experienced the Tower was the one who had to step into the divine masculine energy, and it happened by really recognizing what they'd lost out on. I've said that for a reason. That's come through. So they felt like they've lost it. They've been in hermit mode, really, really reflecting on. I don't think they understood for a while. Like, how could they possibly have let that go? Kind of energy. I think that there's been a lot of the awakenings that have been coming through. It's been their heart. It's been their heart. Got the King of Wands and the Sun energy. That's big Leo energy. It could be very like current energy, or that energy could be prevalent just generally, like the characters. Yeah, so someone really wants to take it upon themselves now with this Magician here and the Ace of Cups to no longer be trapped. Got the Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So I do feel like there's something about yes, wanting to communicate, but also someone wants to express their emotion is what's coming through. Okay, they want to express their emotion, but they haven't understood it for a while, right? So this is their process of understanding this. And the 10 of Cups, the Fool, and the Lovers, I mean, someone will be taking that leap of faith. They will be. They're going to honour their heart's truth now, and they're really gathering the strength to ensure that they're not just stuck in this past way. I think that they've had a lot of behaviours that they've had to really, you know, sometimes there might have been secretive behaviours, but there's certainly things that they've had to learn how to hone in on. There's that attraction there as well. So there's a lot of like fierce attraction. Maybe this is someone who is quite an attractive energy themselves. Okay, playfulness. Recapturing that kind of inner youthful spirit. I think that's what's needed for this connection. Codependency. Yeah, that's what I meant by, I think that they've had certain behaviours where they've really had to recognize the choices that they're making and what is the reason for those choices, right? I think that for a long time they just wanted to be in that player kind of energy, you know, just fun and not really taking accountability, that and that Peter Pan thing where they don't want to grow up, that kind of energy. And maybe because they are quite an attractive energy, that they had many options to fall back on when that kind of thing is coming through, you know what I mean? They weren't dealing with their emotions, they weren't dealing with the, you know. And with the divine masculine, that means that they've had to really like grow up, you know what I mean? They've had to really say, hold on, let me take accountability here. That's what the hermits are in the tower. They could, if they're on a divine journey and they're coming through as a divine counterpart, they're not meant to stay stuck in that. They have lessons to learn. They've been learning them. Stay optimistic. Yeah, it's important to stay optimistic here because it feels like it's easy to kind of like, I'm hearing lose faith. So this is someone who has been like through those, you know, when I said the light was coming and then it was dimmed, it's like they've had their faith and they've lost it again. You know what I mean? It's come back and forth. There's a deep soul connection here. Okay, that's just confirming that is the case. So stay optimistic because it is a deep soul connection, right? It's not something you've made up. Loving yourself first before going to other people and asking for other people's opinions. It's about loving yourself first before going to other people, following what other people are doing. It's about respecting yourself and actually what does align with you. That's been a major lesson here. Unrequited love, true love at the bottom of the deck. See the difference? This has been where they're coming from, this unrequited love energy. And this true love is open to them, that divine connection, right? So it's kind of like before they were just almost like settling for what was kind of feeding that kind of, you know, the karmic cycles I was talking about. That's why they weren't ready for whatever this was, and they were just continuing to cycle through that, right? Which sounds very much like the divine journey. Okay, just going to get some details to see how you can confirm divine intervention, double rainbow. They've had a lot of divine interventions. Okay, the tracks, on the right track. That's really good, actually. So I feel like they've found their kind of their way forwards. They're focused on that. They could be traveling right now as well. They want to go the distance. They know where they want to go. They really do. And with this double rainbow, that's really beautiful. There's like, yeah, light codes. They've been receiving light codes, downloads, serendipity. Oh, serendipity, that's beautiful. This is really about ascending and keeping promises. So maybe I think this is specific for this reading. They said they were going to be a certain way, do certain things. Maybe they made promises, but they didn't keep those. This is changing. They're understanding that. They're understanding what was feeding them and how unhealthy that was. Okay, magnet, longing, desire. You're pulling. You're like, that makes sense. You've got that magnetic pull towards each other. They certainly are feeling that magnetic pull towards this Queen of Cups energy. Again, this is attraction as well, that je ne sais quoi. So this is someone who's really unique. They're attractive, but they've also got these qualities about them that set them apart, right? And seduction. And I think that actually they've been drawn in by seduction, right? And when I say seduction, I'm talking more about that being lustfully led. That's big for this one. Diamond ring. So yeah, that's beautiful. So again, that's just confirmation of where they want to go and what they're moving towards is proposal, engagement, next level, promise. Again, promise. Something about promise is big deal. So whoever this reading is for, there's something about promise. Somebody made a promise and they did not keep it, and they want to, I'm hearing like retrack, right? They want to keep that promise. They don't want you to think that they didn't keep it. It's something about that's really important. Maybe they said something about, you know, like, you know, they'd never like leave or whatever, and they did, or something like this. Okay, marriage, union, partnership, agreement. So there's definitely something there that's coming through. Okay, this is why you're being guided to stay optimistic and release your attachment. Release your attachment is so important to do that. And kind of redirect that energy of, you know, that loving energy you have for somebody, redirect that towards you if this is someone who, you know, you're connected to. Okay, and if this is you, this Emperor energy, oh my God, man at the bottom of the deck. So maybe this is you who's watching, okay? And when I say man, that's some divine masculine energy for this specifically, or masculine energy, okay? So regardless of gender, I just want to make that clear. Trophy, there's a success, there's a win here. That's come out with a diamond ring as well. You know, so there's definitely something here about someone, wherever they're now focused on, they've redirected their focus after having this like time in solitude. It's the right path. They're finally realizing that. And I feel like they needed this reading to just confirm that, and actually to recognize the unrequited love of the past with the connections that they were allowing themselves to. I'm just keep getting settle. which is interesting because I don't think someone who would want to settle, which is why they've been so, non-committal and not wanting to like take accountability because they don't want to settle, so I think they're realizing that actually what they want is so much more magnificent is what's come through. That pull, that desire that they have is not just nothing. Serendipity, this was a serendipitous meeting, connection. How you met each other was serendipity. That's really, again, important detail. Okay, so honor yourself right now. This is available to you, this true love. Okay, and you're going the way, you're going that distance, right? But just take on board what you're receiving, the downloads that you're receiving right now. It's really important, especially when it comes to the taking action from your heart space, and staying in alignment with that. Okay, so for a long time, they were just letting it be. Something about wintertime could be important here as well, okay? Maybe you have a memory from wintertime. That's really important. They're really detached. They were just like, they just needed to let it be. They didn't understand, the tower, again, they really had, whatever was happening for them, it was just so unexpected, these emotions. They didn't know what was happening, basically, okay? And so they've had to really learn and heal through that, right? There's something about... that no matter what's happened, the desire here is still fierce, truly. There's expansion coming. This is coming out twice here. There's expansion, element of fire. So you've got, again, that passion, that impulsive, expect the unexpected, something about creativity, right? For the feminine energy that's coming through here, this is energy of really allowing the situation to unfold, and also for her to focus on whatever it is she's starting something. There's something about her beginning something, and it's important for her, to honor the inspiration that she's experiencing, the healing, the hope, because that's actually going to allow someone like the Emperor energy to really step into their divine masculine energy as well, in order to understand how to take action, because she's calling that energy back to her, right? She's focusing in on her alignment, her purpose, and that's really important here. Okay, got the star energy as well, so really, again, that miracle, right? That promise is kept, whereas before they weren't, right? And it says that it's developing. So air energy, so maybe air signs could be involved with here, but there's definitely something about that mental activity that could be communicative, talking through what it is that you want moving forwards. And in terms of timing, we've had the Queen of Fire. So she says in like summer, in specifically Leo season, 7 to 14 days. So there's going to be some kind of something that develops in the next 7 to 14 days. It's going to really allow this expansion that's happening to take place, and no longer just being in the, letting it be, but actually taking action forwards. It might be very unexpected how it comes forward. Okay, someone's a leader. Time to get going. Their beginnings and birth. They really want to progress forwards here, and it's going to be in their hands to do this. So that's happening. And like I say, Leo season is coming through a lot. So there's definitely, this is very like, present if you're currently watching this, or it could just be the energies that you're really connected to. Okay, again, 7 to 14 days is going to be big shifts. Okay, like I say, they could be really unexpected. There's going to be some kind of opportunity coming through as well, which is going to also allow this expansion. Got some Jupiter energy here as well, which is beautiful, and that Wheel of Fortune. So there's a turning point. Someone's been going through a lot of growth during this period. I want to make that clear. So it's going to be a huge change that they will have experienced when they present next. So yeah, there's a lot of drive, but no passion to get going towards that goal. That's really specific. So again, really masculine energy within you, but that holding that within you, or someone outside of you. There's definitely this energy of taking that, taking the lead here, and it's beautiful. Really taking action that's required from a healthy heart-led space, which is beautiful. Okay, it's likely that this, whatever's coming in the next 7-14 days, might be a little bit impulsive, might be kind of really driven by that past energy, but this is kind of what someone's going to recognize they need to release. And the guidance for who's going to be receiving this is, it's okay to stay silent. It's okay to fall back. I'm not saying, the silent treatment or anything like that. You can be honest, just say, I need some time, or whatever it is that feels right to you. That just say luck is on your side. So this is important. I feel like whatever's happening next, because that's come out again, with that Jupiter energy, that expansion, the abundance that's coming in, luck is on your side. I think someone's approach is just, I think it's going to be kind of, because they want to take the lead and they want to go, it's like a sudden, like, let's go, let's do this. It might just be that they need some time to like recognize what the better way to do this is. It does say stepping out of your comfort zone. That's not easy for this energy to do, because what I'm seeing here, they've often been driven by that ego. Okay, so this is very different. It does say your hard work is paying off as well, so that's an important message. That came through when I was shuffling, but this is also the end of a tough cycle approaches. Personal issue reaches resolution. You're very close to achieving your goal. Okay, this is going to be this end, this kind of cycle that comes through, so you can recognize what still needs to be released, including the ways that you are acting, and what it is that's driving you. And I think because this is so new to someone, I think it's kind of that energy of tried and that it's not tried and tested. Do you know what I mean? I think it's kind of like not with this particular person I want to move towards. Okay, so that's why it's kind of like they're going to they will need some time to just you're both going to need some time to just recognize what's just happened and understand that you're good enough. So you deserve better, both of you, from yourselves, from each other. Okay, understand that. So there is success ahead. There's beautiful opportunity towards this divine love. Okay, it's just about taking time to reflect on what's just happened. Okay, and that's okay for both of you. Just be honest, truly, from your heart. And being honest from your heart space looks different for different people. And if you're on the receiving end of this, just take your time. Say, I need some time to just reflect, to gather my feelings. This made me feel a certain kind of way. It's okay to do that, and that'll give them the time to do exactly the same thing as well, actually, which is important. Okay, especially if they're coming out of the divine masculine, that suggests that this is who they're stepping into now. The feminine energy who's on the receiving end of this, you're going to get the opportunity. This is going to make you feel a type of way, and this is why you're going to need to step back and just find some time to rest before you actually move further forward together, because there's going to be something that comes through and you're going to need to release it, and it's going to be the emotions of the past, and it's to do with whatever happened, where somebody chose who and what they chose, and yes, it's taken a while to get to this stage, but the healing has been required, and you're going to really recognize how much your hard work into your investment in yourself has really been paying off. This is going to be your opportunity to finally close out that cycle of heartbreak and pain, and allowing yourself to stay in that grief, which actually doesn't serve you, truly. It's something that happened in the past, and it's I feel like you've been healing through it, you've been understanding it yourself, which is beautiful. You've been really going inwards, and now it's going to be these last remnants of the anxiety or the fears or whatever it is that pulls you back from actually the beautiful faith that you hold in this divine connection, because it is a divine connection here. Okay, which is why it's very specific. But there's lots of kind of energy of hope being restored. Truly, there is in this. So yeah, remember to be discerning when you're listening to my readings. Okay. And let me know if this message was for you. Something about Libra season is going to be important as well, as you move forward. Leo season, Virgo season, and Libra season are important for the next steps. And then as the year progresses, this is going to unfold and develop. Okay, don't forget, it's all about how you allow yourself to also be treated, the decisions that you're making, and how you're treating each other. So focus on that alignment you've been working so hard to come into, because it's going to help you both. So there's definitely communication coming through. Okay, that's come out a couple of times now. Okay, birds here, so that's communication. Someone wants to talk. Okay, but whatever comes through, it's going to really be an opportunity, a test, to see how much you're operating from self-respect. Both of you, may I add. Okay, you're going to need to learn how. That you've been doing so much healing and connecting to your intuition. You're going to need to trust and honor your inner guidance now, moving forwards, because what's ahead is really beautiful. You've got rings here, right? So it's kind of understanding that actually there is this heartfelt energy beneath the surface, but you've got to go through the layers of just allowing yourselves to not truly get to that space, and that's where you're acting from, that's where you're being connecting from, and honestly allowing the true success to come to the surface, not just keeping it surface level. Okay, and it does also say connect with Archangel Michael to help you with this situation. So important message for somebody. Okay, love to know if this message was for you. Let me know. Sending so much love.